Are you oppressed?
I know there are people that try to oppress me, but my mind frame is I can do whatever, and I can do it all. So.
But this is what happens when you perceive the world as being an eternal victim. The patriarchy. I'm so oppressed. In this active society where I can make free will decisions about anything that I can put my mind to. Oppressed. Really. The lovely discussion that I have for you guys here today will be a doozy, but will be a dip down into the ridiculous thinking of some of these modern women today. Now, the lovely young lady to the right over here, we've seen her before, typically adorning a mustache, speaking about how she gets all of these high-value men to pay for things within her life, yada, yada, yada. Let's go down deep and see what the women have to say.
So, do we currently live
Yes.
in a patriarchy?
In my IMO, yes.
Okay, all right. So, what does that mean, though, to be
question.
living in a patriarchy?
Good question.
That means that I don't know that it has to mean something or not mean something. It just always has been this way.
Well, you'll often hear terms like oppression, right? So, under patriarchy, do you think that women are oppressed?
In certain
Yes.
ways, yeah.
Certain ways, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It depends on the environment.
Okay.
I feel like anyone can be oppressed. It just depends on other factors. Gender is one factor, but there's other ones.
Okay.
It depends is a buffer to make anything true, right? Like, because it depends, it can happen in 1% of cases ever. And because you say it depends, it then makes your entire statement correct. Do you see the subtle verbal manipulation tactics that get thrown out here in order to misguide people's thinking? When you think about oppression, you should think a regime or a group of people acting in a way to exploit or to systematically harm another group of people. These women will fix their faces to get up here and act like in 2025 they have no rights. Meanwhile, this woman over here is talking about that she gets all this money from men. How are you being oppressed when you entitle and privilege yourself to treatment from the same oppressors? It's ridiculous, but let's just keep on going.
And so you guys say, yes, are women oppressed? Yes.
Yes.
Under patriarchy, are men the oppressors? If women are oppressed, then are men the oppressors?
I wouldn't call all men oppressors. I just feel like
They benefit from a system.
Okay, yeah.
They benefit from a system that even if they're not just like when you talk about white and black or people racist and all this other
What
thing,
system?
it's like you benefit from a system that has been
How?
built to make you okay.
How? Thank you.
I mean, just it's written in our amendments, like all
What?
men are created equal. It just starts from
Well,
the beginning. You can say, oh, but it really started as
No,
they
but-
meant white
but-
men.
But
They
I
didn't
think
even
it
include
says,
black men when they meant that.
I mean, when they
said
say that, for example, when you say human.
But that's not what they meant when they said it, and they know that.
No, but
and when you go down the list of things,
for example, when you say mankind, that refers to both men and women.
women.
It doesn't just mean men.
Yeah.
you say that, but at the same time, they didn't mean that when they wrote it.
I think he's talking about gender and she's talking about race. Let's keep listening.
They didn't consider black
I
people
don't know.
to be
Yeah,
human, even at that
I wasn't
point.
talking to George Washington.
But we
or
know
whatever
this
the
from
fuck.
history.
Well, I don't. Okay, we're talking about the Constitution. That's not an area that I have
wanna go in.
expertise in. But my understanding is when it comes to language, when it comes to etymology, when people are using like men or mankind, for example, they are referring to people as a whole.
That's what you're saying, and that's what we have assumed now as but when it was written, how it was based, our forefront, our forefathers,
Wasn't for every man.
our country being built.
She's right.
I mean, it wasn't Thanksgiving, dude. Like, it started with a hierarchy, and it was the white male, and they wrote themselves as the hierarchy.
Well, it doesn't
in
say.
this.
It doesn't say.
It
all
doesn't.
white men
It
are
doesn't,
created.
right?
It doesn't
it doesn't
say anything
because
about
they
white
didn't
people.
even consider other people to be inclusive. They had to decide. Black people were one third of human, considered to be 1/3 of human after we were emancipated or what have you. So it's like, it's still written. You can say it changed, just like religion, right? Now we let certain people in religion, and now you can't do this and you can do this, and you can have many wives and you can't. Just like things change, sure, it changed, but when you look at how and why, it's because that's how it started.
Surprisingly, there's a decent point in here, but again, the question was to modern times today. But the point is still valid. They wrote mankind within the Constitution, and it wasn't until 100 years later that we had the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. So if you said all mankind, but then you got slaves, is that really all mankind? Now, were people back then that looked like me oppressed? Absolutely. But am I oppressed today? Absolutely not. Let's keep going.
Okay, but
This
let's talk modern day, right? Okay, so because what
I don't
the
think you
Constitution was
I don't think you can get
200
into modern
plus,
day without
250
recognizing
250 years
what
ago
the
or
history
something?
is.
I just want to say this. I just feel like it's a battle between good and evil, and it can be anyone. A woman can be really evil. A man can be really evil. There's history, of what, and what gender might have had more power, this and that. But I feel like now it's really a battle between good and evil, and it's your choice what you want to be.
She's smart. I
know
her.
some women that are really, really bad, and guys that are really, really bad, and the opposite. And some
Right.
people get caught
Yep.
more, some people don't.
Sure.
And also media and all this stuff. So
But okay, so
Yeah, she's good.
are you oppressed?
I know there are people that try to oppress me, but my mind frame is I can do whatever, and I can do it all. So
That's not called oppression, baby girl. That's called criticism. That's called feedback.
I don't feel necessarily, but I know, especially growing up in the background that I've had, I'm very hyper aware to people when they try to oppress me now because I wasn't raised with it
Try to
necessarily.
oppress me.
But mine
What?
comes more in the form of my skin color rather than in my gender. Because if you're already going to dislike me because of my skin color, then I'm also my gender, and then I'm also fat.
Yeah.
So it's like you found all the reasons to hate me.
Okay, so like you're talking intersectionality.
But that's my daily. Like I don't get to just
Okay.
be like, oh, you don't like me because I'm fat. Oh, you don't like me because I'm a woman. It's like you might not like me for any one of these reasons, and you're still going to act that way to me no matter what.
I really wish when they say something as strong as a word as oppression, you can take each one of these victim-ass women and drop them in a true patriarchal, oppressive regime so that they can understand the difference between what that is and what they're currently experiencing today. No, it is not oppression because someone holds you accountable for bad behavior. It is not oppression when someone tells you, hey, listen, put that goddamn donut down. Stop eating that goddamn shit. I'm sorry, but it's not oppression, baby girl. That's anything but. You're making a free choice, and other people want you to understand the consequences of your bad behaviors or your free damn choice. But this is what happens when you perceive the world as being an eternal victim. The patriarchy. I'm so oppressed. In this active society where I can make free will decisions about anything that I can put my mind to. Oppressed. Really. Let's go.
Okay. Well, we're speaking just within the confines of gender here, but okay. So oppressed? Because of the gender.
not.
Oppressed?
not
Yes, I feel like I've definitely
like
missed
her.
out on things because of my gender.
Wow.
Okay.
Or I've been treated away or fondled away.
Missing out on things because of your gender is not oppression, baby girl. There's things that men miss out on because of their gender. I can't be a waitress at Hooters, baby. I can't do it. I can't be a top earner on OnlyFans, baby. All right? Now, I'm being slightly facetious because really, who wants to be a titty waitress as well as on OF? So I'm being facetious. However, this is a large component of the reason why DEI initiatives are currently going away, because being a victim is powerful. So there's a business of being victim, because if they were to say, well, I'm not a victim anymore, then the special things put into place to propagate them into wherever, even if they're not qualified, goes away.
Or have even, but also at the same time.
On a systemic level, is that kind of what you're talking about? Like systemic
No.
oppression?
I mean,
Because I hear that
I mean,
term a lot. So.
Systemic?
What?
It's built into the
I knew when
rules.
She got up.
Oh, she's deflecting. She smelt a burger.
Because I'm just trying to think, okay, when it comes strictly to gender, right? I'm just trying to think like what right or privilege as a man do I have that you don't or that women don't? The one thing you actually mentioned earlier, and I
shaking your
agree with
shirt
you,
off, yep.
is the shirt off thing. But that's really and in some cities, in some places it's legal, other places it's
In New
not.
York, it's supposed to be legal. But people don't do it
but
still.
yes, there are definitely
Yeah.
places where
Women can go shirtless in New York.
Yeah, it's a state by state thing. I used to live in Ohio, and apparently in the middle of Ohio, right, in the liberal, right, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. I believe in those cities, especially Columbus, because I lived in Columbus, women could be shirtless, right? It surprised the hell out of me. I was walking down the street one day, and I was like, look at all those titties. And the thing is, where the cops at? Because that shit don't look normal. Come to find out that it was perfectly legal within city limits. To be honest, I'm not mad at it at all. If y'all want to show y'all titties and desexualize those delicious titty meats, you know, I'll be honest though, I think that like going not topless is made for body types like this. So I would continue this degree of oppression just to not be blinded. Does that make sense?
Oh, I thought only on the beaches.
I don't know. I thought I saw like an ad campaign where a lady was walking down the street with her
Free the titty.
Yeah, free the titty. Yeah.
That's the only right that I can think of, though, when it comes to like a system, like laws, where
it's not equal.
When it comes to rights that men have that women don't.
Do you think women should be able to?
We also don't squirt
have,
milk.
You know, their titties out.
I'm down. I'm with the free.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's
sure.
a rule for. I understand why that's a thing.
I'd walk with them.
France for a while, and they're not as they
Bonjour.
don't.
They're new.
I understand why women are not allowed to show everything because obviously, you know,
that has to
our
do with
rules
their
can be
society,
very
though.
sexual.
But that's why, it's because we sexualize everything,
Yes,
especially
I
in this
agree.
country.
Yeah, but
Like,
society's made up by the people,
Right,
And
but
it's true, like
governed by the government, though.
and guys' chest, no one really gets turned on.
But you'll see men who, we were just talking about chubby men who've got bigger titties than I do.
You know,
Yeah, but that's
Instagram, like,
different.
you know, flags you if you show like
It
a
is.
titty. But I know some plus size guys who have gotten banned from Instagram or gotten their pictures taken off because of their topless, and Instagram registers it as a woman's breast, but it's a man. So they're discriminating against fat men.
There's
like,
another way. Instagram discrimination. There's another one.
Wow.
Not just
there
a
you
shirt.
have it. There you have it, folks.
What about women that aren't allowed to breastfeed in public without being harassed by the public? I think that's oppression. Like women, you can't help but to breastfeed your child, like wherever you are, and people have an issue with that. I've seen videos online where people are being like yelling and being aggressive while a woman's breastfeeding their child, their baby, and what can she do? She can't fight you. She's literally a woman with a child breastfeeding, and you don't know how to mind your business. You don't know how to walk away. Like, you're in her face, like, you're so aggressively because you're so upset that she pulled out her titty to feed her child. It's because you're over sexualizing everything that a woman does. Just like how they say, like, oh, you know, if you're bigger, if you're a fat woman, you shouldn't wear tight clothes,
sexual.
you know, because it's too sexual.
Yeah,
and things
instantly.
like, okay, on TikTok,
What?
you like, go through bans. I don't know if you know this, but like when you're on TikTok live, they'll like ban you for a week if you did something that they didn't like. For example, I'm like showing people like my outfits or whatever in my closet. I dropped something on the floor. I just bent over to pick it up, and I got banned for a week. But I see skinny girls shaking their butts in bikinis, and they never get banned. And I just picked something off the floor. Like, well, I have too much ass for you. Like, what are you trying to say?
Bigger bodies are sexualized.
You know, like,
What? No. Baby girl on the left is looking at her like, well, you just keep telling these sweet damn lies. Listen, people are not telling you to wear looser clothes because they're sexualizing you. They're telling you to wear looser clothes because you don't fit the clothes that you're wearing. In this whole conversation about breastfeeding, listen, in our culture, breasts have been sexualized. If they weren't sexualized, then breastfeeding in public would not be as visually jarring. But creating rules around the standard doesn't mean that it is oppression. Having rules or having standards is not oppression. It's one thing that is not equal between men and women, and that's okay. If you're oppressed, the majority of the rules and or standards are against you or use you. And that's obviously not what's happening. Everything that you see as unequal is now a part of the patriarchal regime. Got it.
That's the reason people
crazy.
hate so much. People hate
Look at-
like thicker women
Yeah,
because
they
their
looked at
bodies
it.
are sexualized instantly.
Wait, hold on. We got to see that part again.
like, well, I have too much ass for you. Like, what are you trying to say?
Bigger bodies are sexualized.
You know, like,
that's the reason people
crazy.
hate so much.
Look at-
People hate sex like thicker women because our bodies are sexualized instantly. If I wear a tank top and if she wears a tank top, she's okay. I'm busty.
Delusion.
Madison, do you have a response to? I think she says you're
Delusion.
flat. That's what she's saying.
No,
Oh, no, but I do
no,
get that.
No one was definitely saying that.
Correct
but I
her.
was saying,
Like, if I were to wear this shirt and if I had like way
right,
bigger
if
titties,
I wore that
like
shirt,
I
you'd
would
be like, holy shit.
yeah. You know? Yeah, I completely.
And on you, it's
Because
like,
it doesn't
so cute,
fit.
and on me, it's like she must be wanting to get
yeah,
paid.
you can't wear.
Because it doesn't fit, and then we can see all of your roles, ma'am. It's not that people are sexualizing you. What world do you live on?
certain things if
You
you're
know,
a different body
that's
type.
all I was saying.
I
He's over
completely
here.
get that. Yeah.
So do you guys think that bigger women should be dressed differently?
should
than
dress how you wanna
skinny
No,
dress.
I'm gonna continue my
I'm
little crop tops
conservative.
and my little booty shorts and my little mini skirts. You're just gonna have to deal.
Go ahead, big
I
back.
think,
Conservative now,
yeah,
but-
you should be able to wear what you want.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get judged more?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
So you have to be
Yeah.
okay with that.
Probably,
I'm okay
but
with
you
it.
just
But
have
what
to be
about
comfortable.
the women who don't like to get cat? Was it cat
Cat
called?
called?
Listen, you have control of what you do. If you wear that outside and you get catcalled,
I
you
get
don't wanna be
catcalled in
then just
sweatpants.
don't
You
wear
have
it.
to
And a
Unless
messy
you
bun.
can't be mad at someone else.
Yeah, you have to be. You
can't
have to
control
expect
another
that to
person.
happen. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna be, flaunting what you have, guys
To
are
be
gonna want to
fair-
admire it, and if they
But
catcall
we
you,
use that, though.
we
We use
shouldn't really
that.
be that upset.
We go
right?
as we're walking down the street getting catcalled, we're going into Starbucks and getting that free cookie.
Yeah, that's true. I get free stuff all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time, all the time, all the
Yeah.
time. So I guess it's a matriarchal society since we get free shit.
Like
We're
girls
winning.
getting free everywhere. Men have to pay
That's
20
very,
bucks.
very
Like, give me the money.
Oh, yeah. Society works for us. Keep that up.
It does.
So they're
Can you send us
admitting
some
it,
more
that they're
money,
wrong.
even though we don't get it. I really liked when you guys wrote us little talk shit things. I was enjoying
shit
that.
thing. Oh.
Yeah, when they were like,
My
they said,
Venmo
"Don't make fun
DMs
of
are
the-
open.
Don't make fun of the fat girl. Something something. They have a light
Send me a
pay-
treat.
Send me a treat.
To go back to what we
You
were saying
hungry?
earlier, though, I feel like a lot of like skinnier men do like bigger
Isn't that
women.
Yeah,
so funny?
Because
Yeah, I do
I
skinny
feel like
guys.
I've seen like
It's like a fucking pear, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny. And like, yeah, I do attract a lot of thinner guys.
Mm-hmm.
Also cut guys, what she said, but it's so funny. And they know it. They'll be like, well, it's a skinny guy who's got to be with a thick girl. They just have this thing.
Yeah,
I don't
like
mind.
Cat.
hard
Yeah.
bodies
'Cause
attracted
skinny
to
guys
soft
can
bodies.
like sometimes they pack.
Wow.
What do you think bigger guys attract more?
I see them with petite women.
My thinner
Really?
friends like bigger
Yeah.
guys.
yeah.
Your thinner friends
Yeah.
because they
like
feel
bigger
safe
guys?
and secure.
We
like
have
a big teddy
conversations
bear.
about it,
Like,
yeah.
oh, it's like my
Okay.
big teddy bear. And like,
Oh,
you
I've
know,
heard that.
They
big
feel
boy season
protected,
is
yeah.
coming. SZA with the big boy. Like, big boy season's coming. So like, everybody's looking for a big boy to cuddle up with for the months of October, November, December.
Yeah.
Happy
So
birthday.
big boys, slide in my DMs. Any boy slide in my DMs.
Small
okay.
season, maybe.
Not picky.
I'm not, because I can read a vibe so quick. So I'm just like,
There
I'm
you
not
go.
feeling you. Ooh, I'm feeling you. And it has nothing to do with looks. Like, it's your energy.
I think Brian's look at the end here absolutely summarizes it all. What we're seeing here is not only an admittance that perhaps it's not oppression, perhaps it's not patriarchy. Oh, look, women benefit at things. I guess it's a matriarchy. All the way down up into my thick ass, big backed body is sexualized. And just to watch echo chambers unite and have a conversation, a publicly recorded conversation, is fascinating. I think generally big backed ladies should link up and have always linked up with big-backed men and vice versa. Are there going to be exceptions to the rule? Absolutely, but it's not the majority. Shout out to the Whatever Podcast. Guys, leave me your comments, questions, and concerns down into the comment box down below so we can have an active conversation in regards to this content. If there's anyone that's down into the comment box that thinks that there's an active patriarchy within our society, please write me some comments down below as well so I can pin your bullshit to the top. We can all have an intense conversation in regards to that. But I think no matter what anybody thinks about this, above all, bring back shame. I think shame would do a lot of people a lot of good. Last but not least, guys, join my men's self-development community. We're absolutely turning up on there, especially if you have a focus on the financial education going up into the future. It is a movement, and the movement starts here today. Click in, beam up, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.